Have you read this, Sid? I read most of the fridge magnets at breakfast, if that's what you mean. Oh, it's in the papers. The Thunder, of course. The Times. The Old Lady of Threadneedle Street. I won't have to read it then. It's clearly for windbag landlords only. I hope you don't mean me. It's an important article. It could save your life. The Times are saying, are we opponents of the letter Z? Now, let me think. I don't use Z very much, so you could say I'm a bit of an opponent. In that case, we both need to use the letter Z more often. Xylophone, xenophobia, Xerox. Alright, I'll throw those into the discussion from time to time. But what about the letter Z? That will be excellent. So, what started all this nonsense going on in the Times? It's just middle-class dinner dates, isn't it? It all began with a demand from Vladimir Putin. There will be no mercy, he cried. Russian TV host threatened concentration camps and sterilisation for opponents of the letter Z. Well, I'm not going to end up in a concentration camp just because of my English composition, Sid. We Hancocks like to keep our positions low and our aims high. Well underneath the top of the trench, mate. Putin's that Russian dictator, isn't he? In that case, he could give us dictation, couldn't he? Just to be on the safe side, Sid, I think I'll go on an English language course to make sure I'm using English appropriately, as it should be, and bulk up me ratios of Zs just in case. Here it is, Stephen Sparrow. You will study English reading, writing, speaking, listening and grammar, alongside British values and culture. Good evening. Thorough. But there's not one Z in there. I'm not sure I've come to the right place, Mr. Sparrow. Yes, good evening.
No, proper. You've got to obey the rules of good English like me.
But I said the words good and evening.
No, you've got to say it like me. Good evening. Go on, have a go.
Good evening.
Yes, that's much better.
But I don't want to speak like you.
Why not? I speak good England. I'm a tutor.
Well, what in fact are your bona fides? Have you got any degrees or letters after your name?
Well, let me see. I've got the letter Z after my name.
How very interesting. I've come about your evening class. That's what I'm looking for. But I noticed your note on the door didn't have a Z on it.
Who sent you?
What do you mean who sent me? I did.
Oh dear, you're not one of us then.
And who, may I ask, is one of us?
We're people who support the letter Z, like Zorro.
Well, that means I'm on your side. I support the letter Z and I want to use it more often. That's why I've come for a few tips. It's such an interesting letter, isn't it? I went to an English evening class last night, Sid. So, you're now officially an expert on the letter Z. I'd like to say yes, but it's funny. I didn't learn anything, but I was given a box. So, what's in it? I really don't know. Sparrow said don't open the box unless you're a supporter of the letter Z. What's the point of giving someone a box if they can't open it? Don't ask me, Sid. It's a bit mad, isn't it? Look, I'll open it. I've been dying to do that all night. So, what's in the box, Hancock? It appears to be a couple of perfume bottles, Sid. Zarco perfume, it's called. And I don't think it's a chance occurrence that begins with a Z. You want to be careful with perfume, Hancock. Putin puts Novichok in perfume bottles to assassinate people who stand up to him. No, it's not Novichok, Sid. This one's called Zarko Perfume. And there's a name in the box. It says Sid James. But it's the wrong address. Not 23 Railway Cuttings. It's 51 Lambeth Towers, Southwest 11. 51 Lambeth Towers, Southwest 11. How did Sparrow know that it's my girlfriend's flat? Give it here. No, it's mine. Leave it alone, Sid. I'm going to take a puff. If it's a nerve agent, Hancock, it could kill you. Leave it alone. Okay, you keep it. I'll go and see Sparrow myself. I can't see the bloody video. Here it is, Stephen Sparrow. Yeah, this is the right course. Free evening time English language course. You will study English reading, writing, speaking, listening and grammar, alongside good old British values and culture. What did Hancock say? There must have been a secret code, he said. There's not one Z in there. I'm not sure I've come to the right place, Mr. Sparrow.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Sparrow.
No, proper, you've got to obey the rules of good English, like me.
Yeah, but I said the words good and evening in a sentence.
No, listen clearly, you've got to say it like me. Listen, good evening. Go on, have a go.
Good evening.
Yes, that's much better.
But I don't want to speak like you, do I, Mr. Sparrow?
Why not? I speak good English, I'm a tutor.
Have you got any degrees, Mr. Sparrow, or letters after your name?
Well, that's a funny thing, isn't it? I've got the letter Z after mine.
Yes, very interesting, Mr. Sparrow. I've come about your evening class, but I noticed the note on your door didn't have a Z on it. You used most of the other letters of the alphabet, but not the Z.
So who sent you?
What do you mean, who sent me? I did, of course.
So you're not one of us?
Who's us when it's at home?
People who support the letter Z, of course.
Yeah, that's right. I support the letter Z, and I want to use it more often. That's why I've come for a few tips.
Oh, good, come in. I've got the Z package for you.
Good evening, Hancock. I went round Stephen Sparrow's, and I've got my own box. Yes, well, you won't want to use mine then, will you? What perfume is yours? It's the same as yours, Hancock. Zarko Perfume. I suppose it has a name and address in it, like what mine did. Well, I'm not sure I should tell you. Come on, Sid, like Peter, like Paul. I gave the address in my box. All right, it's Tony Hancock, 23 Railway Cutting. At least Sparrow got the address right on this one. We don't know this geezer Sparrow, so why is he trying to bump us off with Novichok? Never set sight on the blighter before. Wait a minute. There was an heckler about 6 weeks ago at one of my stage shows. I got him thrown out, Sid. It could be him. I suppose if you're a maniac, that is a reason to kill someone. And I suppose the stage show wasn't that good, Hancock. What about me? Hang on a mo, Sid. Didn't you have a run-in with a punter that said you wouldn't honour his bet, as it was out of date? Yeah, Thrush. I think Thrush was his name. Must be him. I may have to go down to see him, Sid. It might not be the Russians, it might be Thrush. Sparrow or Thrush, whatever you call yourselves. Come out.
Good evening.
Don't you start all that malarkey again, Sparrow. Right, so how come you're giving out boxes of perfume with people's names and addresses in it, instead of teaching them how to use the letter Z?
It's our job. We're supposed to give it to them.
So how on earth did you know we knew the person in the box?
No, there isn't a person in the box.
Oh no, you misunderstand me. How did you know the person's name you put in the box?
I didn't. I've just started a perfume business.
Right, jolly good. I'll let you get on with it then, Mr. Sparrow. By Jove, there's an ambulance outside. What happened to Sid? Some geezer sniffed some perfume. It turned out to be poisonous.